Welcome to the new moon in Scorpio activation. I'm Adrienne Elise. Well, I'm sure you're feeling all this Scorpio energy. Wow, we really have taken a dive into the underworld. Can be kind of uncomfortable for the energy when we're delving into the shadows. And we're all feeling it right now, the whole planet collectively. And it's really important to know that when we go into these shadow places, we are connecting with the collective consciousness. So when things feel really heavy and you're trying to clear deep, heavy stuff, know that that's also affecting the collective. And it can kind of help to know that, especially as an empath, as a starseed, you are very sensitive to the energies of the collective. And it's just like a big squeeze right now. It's the darkest dark and the lightest light. So what we're seeing in our world is a lot of darkness, a lot of heaviness, a lot of oppression energy, kind of this feeling of being held down under a cloud. But what's really going on is massive transformation and enlightenment. And of course, this has been going on, but we haven't been able to really see it in our everyday world. It's like kind of going on deep within the individual psyche of the starseeds. And the pressure is on right now. The pressure is on right now because that pressure is pushing you to bloom, to just think about a seed in a complete encapsulation. And all of the factors that go into that seed being able to push through that protective barrier and bring their sprout into the light of day. So that's what's happening right now. And it can be really hard. I think people are struggling to keep in the light and keep in the hope and keep in the vision of their future. But that's actually the most important thing that we can do, because time is actually an illusion. It's all happening right now. And so our right now, even though with the shadow energy, we're going into the shadow of feeling lots of deep emotions. We haven't had a lot of water energy in 2017. So we've got some suppressed, heavy energy that's trying to release from our space. Also past life energy bleeding into this reality as we are changing our relationship to time. But know that this is all happening to push you into the next level. And if you can kind of keep that in mind, that this is a temporary place, that is this squeeze before you go to the next place. And that even though it feels heavy and oppressive right now for a lot of people, that is actually a tool that we can use to break through to that next level, to claim that joy, that light, that truth that we know. And the reason why it feels so intense is because it's such important work right now. And you are kind of tugging along this collective consciousness that has not been willing to shift. And we're getting to a place where it's like, we are at the corner. We have got to shift. And it's like a lobster growing and growing and coming up against that shell, this 3D reality that has not been able to shift. And this is a lot of the energy we're feeling because the two rulers of Scorpio, Mars and Pluto, are in square to each other. And so we're having this kind of desire for transformational growth, and yet this feeling of coming up against. Capricorn is where Pluto is the structures of our life. It's an earth sign, it's authority, it's yes, you can, no, you can't. And so it's just like, oh, we're coming up against this, and our light we're having this influx of light. And believe me, I'm having session after session where people are just awakening in their field, but our world has not yet been able to change in the 3D physical reality. And so this is the uncomfortable place that we're in, but it also means we're closer than we've ever been in breaking through to the next level of consciousness. And so this is really important to know individually and collectively that this is going on. So Mars is in Libra, squaring up with Pluto in Capricorn, and squares are tension. It's about coming to that corner place where there's nowhere else to go except around the corner. You've got to change your path. And Pluto in is the breakdown. It's the ruler of Scorpio, the death, the rebirth, transformation. And so what's trying to happen in this whole era of Pluto in Capricorn is a breakdown of the structures of our world, of our life, that are not allowing our consciousness to grow. The systems, the financial systems, the political systems, and the energetic paradigms. And so we're really coming up against it, and it feels really uncomfortable because you inside are growing and shifting and changing and having your awakening and your enlightenment, and the world around you is getting darker and darker and more material and more dense, but that's a total illusion. Okay. And so just know that we are at this point of about to break through to the next level. And this Mars Pluto is bringing this tension to the foreground. And it's kind of interesting because Mars is our action planet. It's like the ruler of Aries, which is the incarnation and coming in and starting things and making action happen. And so that's a big desire to, and it's squaring up against Pluto here in Capricorn, but it's not that strong in Libra. It's actually in detriment. It's in this opposite sign. So Aries is opposite of Libra. So when Mars is in Libra, it's in detriment. It doesn't feel strong, doesn't really like it. And it's kind of got this feeling of not being at home. And that's an interesting thing because we also have Venus in Scorpio, and that's opposite of Taurus, which is where Venus is at home. And so Venus is in detriment. And then Mercury has moved into Sagittarius, and Mercury is the ruler of Gemini, the opposite of Sagittarius. And so we have our three main personal planets in detriment, feeling not at home. And I think this is so interesting because it's really bringing up with these starseeds and indigos, this deep feeling, this deep subconscious feeling that we've all felt throughout our whole life and maybe many incarnations in this earth evolution of not being at home. Like, who are these people? And who dropped me off here? And are you going to come pick me up? Because what's going on here? Feeling absolutely an alien in this world. And this is happening more and more. The gap between the reality of our 3D oppressive reality and enlightenment, spiritual awakening, enlightenment that's happening with the starseeds is coming up against each other. So it's really bringing home this feeling. The deep, dark shadow that we're really addressing right now is this feeling of our core energy of separation. And for starseeds and indigos, it's this feeling of like not being home, not being able to bring our light completely here to the planet. Now, part of the story here is because we've had lifetimes in this evolution of persecution, of being targeted for our light. And so a lot of starseeds and empaths and indigos are holding this light, but not able actually to bring it into their lower chakras, not actually able to find permission in this world for their light to bring it home to earth in projects, real world activities, into their work, their career. And it's incredibly frustrating. And it feels like, what is the point? What is the point of this existence? You know, and a lot of starseeds and indigos are coming up against this and feeling like, okay, I know that there's more, way more out there than what we're experiencing right now, but I can't seem to find that connection. I can't seem to feel at home. It doesn't feel safe for me to bring my light. And this is the deal with what's happening right now, is that we have multiple incarnations, experiences, because when we're not in this realm of 3D reality, time doesn't really exist in a linear fashion. So all time's kind of happening at once, which means all our lifetimes are happening at once. And right now we're having this bleed through of energies of past life trauma. You know, like say something horrible happened to you, you're persecuted or you're burned or you're put in prison or tortured. And all of a sudden you're feeling that way in life. There's not really a reason. Maybe things are coming up to trigger, but it's like the feelings and the heaviness is way bigger than what's happening. And know that it's because you've been walking around with this shadow in your subconscious, like really affecting you, holding this kind of negative energy. and it's coming up to be released. This is a beautiful thing, incredibly uncomfortable for a lot of people right now, but it's like, you don't want to carry that stuff around. You don't need to carry around lifetimes of stories of you and your light needs to be persecuted, punished, or something bad and wrong. That's a total and complete lie. So this Scorpio energy is sending us into the shadow of not just this lifetime, but many lifetimes. And it is uncomfortable. But at the same time, it is this huge, massive opportunity. And this is a lot of the frustration that's going on, the intensity of this lifetime for the starseeds and indigos, because you have chosen to complete all of your karma in this earth evolution in this one lifetime. So you're working on multiple lifetimes in this one lifetime, and it's really hard to access. Now, if you're really feeling this way, you can go ahead and get a session with me. That's a way to go find out the information you need. Where is this feeling coming from? Clear it, get the contracts, get yourself set free. And I work with collective energy, and I can feel what's happening. And I know that there's people out there following my work that are really feeling it right now. And know that when you seek help, it doesn't have to be with me, but when you seek help to find another person to talk to feel like you can start moving this energy out of your psychic space, you're not only helping yourself, you're helping the collective. So take those steps to get the support you need to move this energy, and don't stay stuck in it. And there is support out there, and there's a way bigger picture to what's going on. And so it's almost like it's time for us to kind of stop taking all of this story, all this trauma that we're working through of our ancestors and our past lives and the catastrophe paradigm of planet Earth, and knowing that, yes, those are stories, but that's not who we are actually. And that's going to be a big part of the activation today, is tapping into who we actually are in the bigger sense of the world, and in the bigger sense of the cosmos, and not this narrow existence that we're all feeling stuck in, and breaking down and releasing this illusion of separation. We are not separate. We can't be separate, because we are a fractal of the whole. We are a facet, a personality, a role that we're playing, but we're a part of one personality, the source energy. And so when you know that truth, you got to then come to the conclusion and adjust your belief system that, you also have source energy, the light, the truth available right here within you. You don't have to go out seeking. A big paradigm of this religion story, this breakdown, Pluto and Capricorn energy, is the structures of our world, religious structures, paradigms that there's some sort of God outside of ourselves that says whether or not we get to exist, have what we need. Are we good enough? Did we earn our angelic support? This is all stories, and it's a complete illusion. And so we know the truth, and sometimes you know that consciously before you can actually embody it, but we're going to work on that today in the activation. Go deep into this illusion of separation and set ourselves free. So this Scorpio energy is uncomfortable for a lot of people, but so powerful in clearing the things that have been affecting you. These are the loops of stories from the past that keep coming up, pushing your buttons, creating the same patterns over and over again in your life. And isn't it a nice thought to be able to go in and get it by the roots, pull it out, get rid of it? So the beautiful thing that's happening, that's helping us right now, is that Venus is in a trine has just had a trine to Neptune, is still feeling that. And Jupiter's heading into a trine with Neptune. And so Jupiter and Venus have recently come together. And so this is an energy of this big surge. So as much as we're having the darkest dark, we're having the lightest light, a big surge of communication, connection to the divine that we haven't been able to feel in a long time. So it's kind of the weird juxtaposition of feeling totally separate and alone, and what am I doing here in this earth plane? And then all of a sudden opening up to this influx of light and communication from above. Now, Neptune is that spiritual connection. It's also delusions. Neptune is turning direct, and it's already kind of slowed down. It turns direct in a couple days on the 22nd. And so that is bringing us out of these delusions, this delusion of separation, this delusion that we have this God energy out there that says whether we get to go forward or not. And so, it's a really potent and powerful time to be able to drop a lot of delusions from many lifetimes. And when you're doing that, you're helping. The reason why it's so heavy, so powerful right now is because you are tugging along that collective consciousness, and it's just feels heavy. But the truth is that the light is coming in more than ever. Now, Mercury, the messenger, is in Sagittarius. It's getting ready for a retrograde. It's in the retrograde shadow already. So we're already starting to feel this. And this is really potent because we talked about how Mercury's in detriment in Sagittarius. It's kind of like, Mercury wants to understand in everyday reality what's going on. And Sagittarius is the seeking outside of what we understand. So it's really powerful because we have an opportunity to understand who we really are as spiritual beings in a physical body. And Mercury having this long stay, almost 2 months in Sagittarius because of the retrograde, is informing us about what this last couple of years of Saturn in Sagittarius has been about. Saturn is coming up on that galactic center, the destiny. It's this huge magnetic pull, and we don't understand what it's really about. But that galactic center is informing us of our destiny. And Saturn in Sagittarius is about the seeking, the destiny, the truth of who we really are. And we have been exploring this, but Mercury wants to bring it home to real everyday life, but it's kind of confusing. Got all this Neptune delusion energy, and we've got Mercury in detriment going retrograde, and Sagittarius kind of going, oh, I wish I could understand. I want to know more. And so we are getting clarity, but it's kind of, we're going into some weird places to find that clarity. And there's also a message here around, like, we can get really caught up in these stories, and we don't necessarily need to know the details of the stories in order to find the truth, because the truth that we're going to work on in the activation today, I get really caught up sometimes in the truth of what's really going on. I'm a spiritual seeker, always studying, always wanting to find out, always wanting to understand more. And sometimes the more you know, the more you don't know. There's all these levels of truth out there, and overlaid on top of each other. And you think you're getting to the truth, and then there's a bigger delusion on top of that. And so a good mantra is around knowing that I don't know what, I don't need to know exactly that truth in the Mercury kind of way, because I know the truth, which is the truth self, that we are a manifestation of the cosmic consciousness. So it's really helpful in all this kind of weird time of disinformation and weird things going on behind the scenes that we don't understand. And it'll be years before we really do understand, I think, but, to just come back to that truth and just kind of go, okay, there's a bunch of stories going on out there, but I know this truth. And taking that moment to come into still point, connecting with your true self that is that cosmic consciousness. So that's a big part of the activation today. Now, one of the other really beautiful, helpful energies right now, there's the darkest dark with Pluto square, Mars square Pluto, and all these planets and Scorpio going into the shadow. That's the darkest dark. The lightest light is Venus. They're in Scorpio, but trining up with Neptune. Venus and Neptune are cosmic love and earthly love. And it's like, can we feel the cosmic love again? Can we open up to knowing that there's just, we're so much bigger than what we're experiencing right now? And then Saturn right there in the Galactic Center is trining up with Uranus. And Uranus is the awakener planet, and it's coming to the end degrees of Aries, this rebirth, this new birth of humanity, this new identity of who we are as spiritual beings. And that's been Saturn's role in Sagittarius, is like push beyond the veil. Our karma is about pushing beyond the veil and finding out more about the truth and having that expansive spiritual into the light. So Saturn, it's interesting because it's the limitation planet, and it's been in Sagittarius, which is the seeking planet. So there's some weird energy around our karma, and our limitations have to do with not understanding who we truly are. And that's exactly the message with Uranus and Aries too. It's like, come on, awaken, have a rebirth into your true nature, and know that this 3D reality is just one facet of what's really going on. And so Saturn and the Galactic Center trining up with Uranus, the Awakener, coming to the end degrees of Aries, and it is like speaking to this age, but it's a harmonious energy. So it's like we can work with these limitations. Actually, can we use these limitations of confusion, these stories of that we're only just this body, we're only this life, we have nothing else, we have no spiritual connection. Use all that bull crap stories that we've been told by the control paradigm, and actually use it to work against and come into the truth in our life. And so Saturn and Uranus in this trine, it's a big part of the 2017 astrology. We can have a harmonious transformation. We can use the adversity that's happening right now on the planet as a tool to get to the truth of who we really are. So the other thing that's happening on this new moon is that the sun is trining up with Chiron, and Chiron's a wounded healer. And that's in Pisces, the collective consciousness. The Neptune is the ruler there, the delusions and the collective consciousness, and our spiritual wholeness. And so the sun is our identity. So we're really having this harmonious opportunity to unidentify with the woundedness of our past. So it's like going back to everything we talked about today, that we are re-identifying ourselves and not allowing the stories of our ancestors, the stories of catastrophe that have played out, the stories of trauma in this life and past lives, to be the truth of who we are. It's happened, but and that's, a lot of people are going into their deep early childhood woundedness right now with all the Scorpio energy underneath that shadow. And it's kind of like, okay, there's the story. It hurt, it happened, but it doesn't define me. That's not who I am. And so on that note, let's go ahead and get into this activation. Go ahead and just take a few deep breaths and come right here, right now, into this now moment, paying attention to the base of your spine. And notice this kind of activated fight or flight energy, and where the whole planet is right now. Nobody's really feeling safe. And especially light workers, if you've been trained over lifetimes that's not safe to be in your light, and now you're activating into your light, it can create some subconscious deep fears, specifically in the lower chakras, in the root chakra. So go ahead and receive an energetic wave for a root chakra healing, activation, calibration, and just reach beyond that illusion of fear and open up your root chakra to communicate with Mother Earth Goddess Gaia. She is our home. It's absolutely safe. Not only safe, but required that we bring our light home here to planet Earth. A lot of starseeds and indigos have the capability of existing in multiple dimensional frequencies, but it's happening. We've been waiting and waiting for this on planet Earth, and it's happening. So we got to bring all parts of ourself home. So go ahead and feel that magnetic resonance with Mother Earth, putting down a root system, sending down a communication, beautiful opalescent root system, the water flowing between you and Mother Earth, the healing waters. We're going underneath the murky waters into the healing waters, the cool, clean, clear waters of Gaia's cave. Just imagine going deeper and deeper traveling along this root system to go and meet with Gaia in her cave. And what does it look like to you as you come home into the womb of the mother? Scorpio is death and rebirth and transformation. So let's go ahead and invite a rebirth opportunity in this activation today. Just following that root system down deep into the earth, arriving home with Mother Goddess Gaia, the regenerative, magical, mystical, natural world that is an expression of the divine cosmos. And just feel yourself arrive at home in Gaia's cave. And I'd like you to communicate with the pure waters deep in the center of the earth, in the deepest springs and the highest mountains. There is the Gaia codes. The crystals in the water holding this energy of the original vision of Earth as the Eden star that she is, moving into her transformation of light as we all go together. And I want you to go ahead and Earth's arms around you, feeling just held. Just be like a child and sit in her lap and let her put her arms around you and gaze into this pool of crystal clear healing water, the womb of the mother, the rebirth, the truth underneath all illusion, delusion, and pain and trauma. This pure essence of the Gaia codes. And I want you to look into this water and I want you to see your reflection of your true self. Capital T, capital S. I want you to see your reflection of light. And feel the reaction in your lower chakras from being persecuted for this light over lifetimes, making you want to jump out of your body and jump off of the earth. It's not safe here. Now it's safe right here, right now. Mother Earth is on page. Mother Earth is turning into light. You're turning into light. You have absolute complete permission in your whole being right here, right now, to be the light that you are. And I want you to look into that pool and see that reflected back to you. And just breathe in that light, recognizing that it's in your heart. And breathing in air, light, and prana, and the Gaia codes, the Genesis codes. And go ahead and receive an energetic wave for a heart chakra activation, clearing, healing, and calibration, and activation of your fourth dimensional heart in communication with your third dimensional heart, opening up to your true heart chakra, your fifth dimensional heart. And go ahead and feel complete permission from Mother Earth Gaia and the cosmos to activate into your fifth dimensional heart. This is the Christ consciousness grid that is activating on the planet as we speak, right here, right now. So feel a communication between this activation awakening fifth dimensional heart with the Christ consciousness grid around the whole planet. And just breathing air, light, and prana, feeling the whole earth expand and contract with your breath as you come into 100% complete heart frequency resonance and communication with Mother Earth Gaia. Go ahead and join your electromagnetic field with Mother Earth Gaia and feel more at home on this planet than you ever have. Just continuing to breathe air, light, and prana, feeling your expansion and contraction of your energetic field, as well as the expansion and contraction of the Christ consciousness grid around the whole planet. And within Gaia's cave. And go ahead and feel all the other light workers, empaths, star seeds that are going through exactly the process you're going through right now. And many times of feeling alone and disconnected. But that is an illusion. And we're ready for the truth. So just sending out a beacon of light through this grid to your soul team, wherever they are throughout the whole planet. And open up communication with your true soul brothers and sisters that have not been able to find you yet. And feel this amazing feeling of homecoming as we all gather up the parts of ourselves scattered around the universe and come home right here to planet Earth, allowing that magnetic energy to pull towards you all the pieces of yourself. And see this happening for all of the light workers on the planet, the light keepers, the light expanders. And feel that you know that the truth, as much as our world is showing us darkness and pain and war and suffering, you know the truth. That over for the negative control mechanism on the planet. And just go ahead and see these chains breaking from all of the light workers' energy fields, breaking from the planet as you and me and all of the light workers, Mother Earth Gaia, go through this reincarnation rebirth experience together, right here, right now. Feeling the soul retrieval, all the parts of yourself out there in the universe coming home. Taking a few deep breaths. Breathing air, light, and prana, expanding, contracting in this heart frequency resonance. And feel how your whole household, your whole neighborhood has now come into heart frequency resonance. And just imagine popping that bubble of love out around the whole planet. And all of planet Earth coming into heart frequency resonance. As we move into our next chapter, the fifth dimensional heart of planet Earth awakening. Just paying attention to that root chakra, exercising your right to communicate with Mother Earth, putting down that root system, receiving healing activation and release of all stories of trauma that make you feel unsafe on planet Earth. It's now safe to be here. Not just alone, but together with your soul team, working on amazing creative projects together. And go ahead and look into this gazing pool and see what you see. What does life look like with your fifth dimensional heart activated and your soul team showing up to work together on the true work you've been waiting your whole life to begin? Just see yourself moving through life with your fifth dimensional heart activated, the Christ light shining from within you. And go ahead and receive any information, pictures, healing, gifts from your higher self or from Mother Earth to help support you on your journey. Any information about your next steps, whatever might help you right now come more completely home to planet Earth. And Gaia's cave has a little leak of waters, these pure waters coming from above, the cosmic energy, this pure white cosmic Christ light, and just let it wash over you, washing away all of the stories of the past traumas, your ancestral traumas, anything in your subconscious you don't even know what it is, but that's holding you back. And just feel yourself renewed and reborn. Just continuing to breathe, air, light, and prana, expanding, contracting the light, orb of light that is planet Earth right here, right now, that we are a part of. Receiving this purification, this cleansing rain. You are no longer the stories of your ancestors, the false paradigm of catastrophe and addiction to war and violence on planet Earth. That doesn't have anything to do with who you are anymore. Releasing it all through your root chakra, allowing Mother Earth to transform and heal this energy. Feel this renewal through all the stories that your light was wrong or bad or dangerous or would cause catastrophe. That's a lie. You are absolutely appropriate and desired, and it is the destiny, your destiny to bring your light home here to planet Earth and feel safe and held and loved by Mother Earth Goddess Gaia and the cosmos. Feel Mother Earth's gratitude for you being brave enough to bring your light home, to be appropriate, to be desired, to be the light that you are, the gift that you are. Go ahead and receive one last embrace from Mother Earth Goddess Gaia in her cave as you begin to complete your journey in this meditation, gradually coming back into your body and your everyday awareness, bringing with you this light, this peace, this fifth dimensional heart, the Christ light, your rebirth into your next chapter of feeling home, complete, and safe in this planetary evolution. Safe in bringing your light home. And just feeling that root system, that magnetic connection with Mother Earth. Just taking a few deep breaths as you complete your journey, coming back into your body, to your everyday awareness. Become aware of your body, wiggling your fingers and toes. And when you're ready, go ahead and complete this meditation, but bring with you this beautiful communion with Mother Earth, Goddess Gaia, all the other, your soul team out there waiting to find you. The piece of the puzzle that you have for these amazing projects. The cosmic rain of the Christ light energy, your fifth dimensional heart, all coming into your everyday awareness. your true self. And just breathing that into your heart, feeling that awakening. And when you're ready, go ahead and come out of meditation. Wow, thanks for journeying with me today. We really went deep into the depths, and I can feel this collective energy just really squeezing people right now. And maybe it's squeezing us to get to that truth of who we really are and rewrite the stories of our past by going back to our true self, our true potential, and our most optimal timeline. Thank you so much for the work that you're doing, because you are pulling along the collective. And thanks for showing up on this project today. And I hope that I see you in the future. I am launching empowerment coaching. This is an opportunity to work more directly with me to see real change in your life in the direction you want to go, synthesizing your values, your visions, in order to be better able to make decisions and have that support to really move forward in your life. So I hope you'll consider working with me or having an intuitive healing session and continuing to come to these activations. Thank you so much for joining me. Until next time, I'm Adrienne Elise. Namaste.